Hey guys, it's Marty Smith, otherwise known as Turtle Knife on Full Tilt Poker. Look me up anytime. I'm actually doing a video here for PokerCalculatorReport.com. This is a site where I review all kinds of poker software to help you improve your game and basically your understanding of math and odds in poker. There are some pretty valuable math lessons here at PokerCalculatorReport.com as well. And if you do want to have a look at some of the software. Most of the software has video reviews, and each have a simple rating beside them, going from 1 ace, 2 aces, 3 aces to 4 aces. From these reviews and simple rating system, it's quite easy to figure out what kind of product is going to be good for you. But what we are discussing today is something called duplicate outs, because this has come up a few times in people using software like Tournament Indicator, one of the products that I recommend, in that no poker calculator is really intuitive in a human sense, and they shouldn't be. You can often get in hand situations where your poker calculator software actually says your odds to win are going to be more significant than they really are. And I'm about to show you one of these hands that I actually witnessed playing. I wasn't in it, but I was at the table and I witnessed somebody playing, so I recreated it because there was a discussion on the table afterwards about, I had so many outs and you would have put it all in. They were sort of arguing back and forth. Needless to say, the board and both of their hands had a lot of chemistry, so all the chips went in the middle. Now, let's say that you had Jack 10 on a board like this, and you were heads up in a tournament. In this situation, there's one card to come, often called the skill card. So even though there's an ace on the board, you have a lot of outs. Tournament Indicator saying you have 20 outs. 9 clubs, 3 queens, 3 sevens, 2 jacks, and I believe they're also counting 3 remaining 10s as well for 2 pair. A lot of these cards that could come, make it even a more dangerous board than it already is. So really you might be looking to keep a pot small in a situation like this. Of course, small pots are not necessarily a common thing in online poker. Now you can see here that Tournament Indicator is saying 82% to win. And that's just because of the huge draws happening here, in that not only might you be ahead in spite of that ace on the board, but you do have outs if you put everything in the middle here. Now let's say your opponent, unbeknownst to you at this stage, actually has King Queen. Tournament Indicator is telling him he has 59% to win, and you have 82% to win. Well, of course that doesn't make sense, right? But the software is telling you exactly how it is, mathematically. It's not saying intuitively that, hey, your opponent might be on this stuff too. Duh, this King Queen actually has 18 outs. 9 clubs, 3 10s, 3 queens, 3 kings. That's 18 outs. However, some of his outs are your outs, and some of your outs are his outs. In this situation, when the cards went all in, this Jack 10 was ahead. So he doesn't have the 18 outs that he might have been hoping for. Because, first of all, 2 more clubs are gone, 2 that you're holding. And the 3 remaining queens are not going to help him, because that's going to fill out a straight for you. So here we are at the backhander. And this is actually telling you the real story, because, well, you can put in all the cards after the fact. Now still, 13 outs isn't that bad for him. He finds out he's behind. And a situation like this, especially if he's in position and you might have checked to him, that's a good hand to push with on a board like this, and that happens often. So you might have a little bit of a tough decision because of the ace there, but you see these kind of confrontations all the time online. Now, his King-Queen is decidedly behind here. So really, at this point, you're actually hoping for nothing to come. You're hoping for a brick for both of you, really, because now you don't want a club. Even so, with his 13 cards left, there is now 44 unseen cards in the deck. 13 divided into 44 is 29.5%. So now you might think that sounds good for you, and over the long term, sure, those are excellent odds. But when you get into a huge pot, or a huge cash game, huge tournament confrontation, he still has a 30% chance to win. Unless your opponent is short stack, it's a pretty good reason to keep pots small for both of these players. Again, that rarely happens online. All I'm saying is that there's duplicate outs. Your software does not take those into account. It only tells you the outs that it knows that are going to help your hand. It cannot decipher or envision the cards that are going to help your opponent. So, in the end, beware the skill card and watch for duplicate outs by envisioning why your opponent is still in the hand. You know, if he's still in the hand, he's got part of this flop too. So the chances of duplicate outs are much more significant. Take care, guys. Hope that helps you with duplicate outs and the skill card. This is Marty Smith for PokerCalculatorReport.com. Ciao.